Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Uila Lightning Chat. With me, of course, I'm Dilip Advani. I lead the marketing team here at Uila. And today I'm here to talk about one of the questions that get frequently from network engineers or administrators about why they get blamed by default for anything that goes wrong with an application in the data center, right? Why do they end up being the default fall guy or gal for every single complaint that comes along? This is where I would like to talk about how this actually comes. If you think about it from our so-called baggage that we actually bring from home, right? What happens when YouTube works or stops working on your iPad at home? Do you blame Google first, or do you say it must be the internet, right? So we bring that same logic when we come to work, right? So when something goes wrong or does not work, right? Must be the network, right? Let's blame the network guys, right? And if you look at the networking tools that are out there, right, the traditional network monitoring tools, right, they actually have not really helped in clearing out these doubts and showing the world that every problem is not the network, right? This is because, if you think about it, right, is the lack of complete virtual and physical networking visibility with an application-centric view, as well as looking at the rest of the stack, like the application, as well as the infrastructure, right, which is compute and storage, right? If you look at that current generation of network tools, right, they also suffer from a lot of shortcomings, like the inability to look at the infrastructure or classifying the applications and showing what truly matters to the user, right? Or that analysis could be based on flow data, which has its own set of shortcomings. But today, what I want to discuss and what I want to focus on is what truly matters to the networking teams, right? So when a problem occurs, right, the first thing you need is to make sure you are not to be blamed by default, right, when the problem occurs, right? Find out where the bottleneck is, right? Is it at the application server? Is it at the database server? Is it the connectivity between them? You can get that visibility from an application and infrastructure dependency map, right? So the tool you use, right, must be able to tell you exactly where the issue lies and who's to be blamed. In most cases, you will see it may not be the network. But if the tool does point to the network being the reason behind the slowdown or outage, you need to look at two core things, right? You look at the virtual network, and then you also need to look at the physical network. On the virtual network side, you start with the application in mind, as that's what the complaint is going to be all about, right? Look at what the traffic is for the application, how it's flowing through your data center, right? How it's flowing through the VMs, through the vSwitches, through the port groups, and then all the way back to the top of the rack switch, right? Find out where the bottlenecks are, right? Where are your virtual packet drops, your retries, and look at your traffic patterns. So you know if it's a specific VM related issue or it's more of a widespread virtual networking issue, right? If the virtual network looks okay, next you would look at the physical networking infrastructure that's supporting the application. But once again, remember, take an application-centric approach. This is where, right, in the typical case, right, when you're using traditional network monitoring tools, you could have 20 blinking lights on the screen, right? You don't know what to focus on. You want to put your time and energy, right, in the right place, right? You don't want to waste it, and you don't want to look at issues that don't matter to the organization at that point of time, right? So you need a tool that is tying that application performance to the networking statistics. For example, if a port is down, is it impacting the application, right? If there's errors or retries, that could be a cabling issue, right? All those things could be impacting the application performance, right? So without this linking between the application and networking, you as a network engineer will continue to be blamed for not being able to diagnose the problem or do that in a timely manner, right? So you need to take that default thought away that the rest of the organization has about networking, right? And you can only do that when you are using a tool that brings that application-centric perspective, right? So again, for example, tie things back to an application dependency map as an example, right? Again, these were just a few examples I discussed today, right? And I do understand that sometimes problems are not that simple, but my point here is just to focus on one thing, right? Get an application perspective before you take the blame and you're going down a rat hole trying to figure out what the issue is or just to prove you're innocent, right? So try doing that, and I'm pretty sure that all of your networking folks will be very successful within your organization. That's all I wanted to discuss today. Thank you and have a great day.